Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to Noita, the game that teaches you to enjoy dying. Maybe, maybe not. So, this is Noita. In fact, this is Noita modded because it's a very easy game to install mods for via the Steam Workshop. You just do that thing that you're used to doing by subscribing and then using the mod manager in the game that's built into the game. Noita is, as you can see, a pixel graphics game. It's a roguelike in that when you die, you lose everything. But there are things that you unlock in the world that will become available in your next run. So some things do carry over, but you don't get this building sense of power in the face of failure. The real power is knowledge. And there's no Lamborghinis parked in this hidden temple, but there is a shop to purchase either wands or spells, and then a little altar where you can pick from one of 3 perks to add to your character for that run. And if you'll excuse me a moment, I'm on fire, so I throw some water up in the air and it lands on me and puts out the fire, gets my clothes wet, and that reveals a few of the mechanics in the game. Wetness is the essence of beauty, and it's also one of the features of the Noita. You can see also that I'm shooting the ceiling there that's made out of snow and ice with these flaming projectiles, and the trails of fire that are attached to my magical projectiles are melting the ice and turning it into steam. I kicked that barrel, and for some reason, or sorry, it's a crate. That is an explosive crate, and for some reason it also caught on fire. Now I'm also on fire again. I'm starting to regret loading up my wand with these flaming projectiles. It's that's one of the things about Noita. Half of the spells are good half of the time, and the other half the time they're more a liability for you than they are an asset. So there's just so much depth. There's so much death to this game, but there's also depth. Not just the fact that we can tunnel around like a little tunnely boy, like we're mining cobalt, but also, I put a earthquake modifier on my projectiles for this wand, so not only do they do whatever the projectiles regularly do, but they also cause the ground to crumble and tumble. And yeah, so now we're a spider waifu. And you can see, by the way, I have a few mods installed, mostly just things to make the game a little bit more playable. One of them that's a bit overpowered is on full display here. It's called Unlimited Power, and it basically just allows you to never have to reload your wand. You don't have to worry about mana. You just spew, and you can make a wand behave the way this one is behaving by setting it up properly with the right combination of spells, or you can just install the Unlimited Power mod and destroy the universe with ease, unless of course the enemy is invulnerable, like this Colmus Helicasilvide or whatever his name is. By the way, the names in this game are all like Swedish or something. It sounds like IKEA furniture, so I'm assuming Swedish or Norwegian. I don't know. I can't tell the difference, guys. I'm not Mr. Worldwide here. But I just wanted to share a bit of what I've been obsessed with these past few days. Everybody in my house has been constantly sick. It's been a really rough year in terms of just being able to get out of the house and get things done. It hasn't really been happening. And I don't generally mind sitting at home by my computer all day. I really don't, as you might be able to tell, but, well, the people around me aren't always having a great time. And now, let's take a quick look at me actually beating the game. So this is the result of several hours of futzing about and then realizing I've actually acquired the things I need to beat this game. So I'm gonna go for the first and most poetic ending for Noita. So spoilers for the story if you're worried about that. We are going to be beating the game here and showing one of the endings, but it's one of many ways to complete a run in Noita. And of course, the epitome, the most typical way to complete the game of Noita is to die. So let's actually not die. Here we go. If we pick up the whatever that was, the boss activates, and this is Kol Misilme, and he is an absolute unit of an enemy. He's terrifying. He shoots these projectiles at you. He has a shield around him that absorbs and redirects spells cast against him. He just cracked the ceiling and dropped a bunch of rocks on me and himself, and it actually did more damage to him, so I'm fine with that. He's getting close to dying, and I get some distance. I launch a tentacle nuke black hole cluster because fuck you, that's why. And a few of those pieces of rubble were still gyrating, so I took some physics damage there that dealt over 100 hit points worth of damage. So that would have one-shot me if I wasn't at a higher health level. Noita, fellas. It's a great game. And I haven't really shown you the bulk of this game, which is, well, it's hard to describe, but I have been really into this game. I've been taking a quick hot break from War Thunder after the event grind after event grind after event grind, and I've been really enjoying the change of pace with Noita. Something masochistic within me just snapped, and suddenly I enjoy learning by experiencing pain and suffering and loss. And that is provided in Noita, and we get turned into a pile of golden coins as we turn the world into gold by fiddling with the mechanics of the world. And that is how we end our first true Noita run. We had a lot of deaths leading up to this, and a lot of time just spent futzing around in the game, and so how about a little more of that? One of the things that I haven't really mentioned, but I've sort of demonstrated here with this video, is that the variety in this game is just mind-boggling. There are dozens upon dozens upon dozens of base spells that you slot into your wands, and you can arrange them in orders that multiply their variety exponentially. So it's just, not only are there a huge number of ways to use your spells, but there are a lot of them that actually work, and things that can unlock doors for you that that you just don't get by having a prehistoric assault rifle in your hands. And you can see we're switching between a few different wands here. I like to have one fast firing wand for like crowd control, sort of assault rifle type duties, and then another one for either destroying the terrain and everything else, or clearing a path through obstacles for me. And Black Hole is really the king of that one. It's a traveling sphere that just eats all matter that it touches. so you can tunnel through the universe with that thing. And that's another thing about Noita. It's very, very open-ended in terms of letting you do the crazy, ridiculous stuff that you want to do or you want to try in a game like this, and also giving you the opportunity to get yourself killed in the process. And then back to my wands lineup, I also like to have a teleport wand, so really nothing special. It's a mobility option using the teleport spell, and it gets a little bit annoying hearing the teleport sound effect rendering, 30 times per second as I use an optimized teleport wand, but you know what? It's worth the effort. And I'll spare you from that for now. But the last wand I generally have, as you can only carry 4 at a time without modding yourself to be able to carry more, of course, because mods are available for this game. You can really play it pretty much however you want to. And I've definitely scaled it down a bit in terms of difficulty and cranked it up a bit in terms of the ridiculous fun meter, mostly by mods like Unlimited Power. That one's really good. And then of course I have my Megumin here, who is the perfect incarnation of the Noita. Far better than your purple bathrobe guy could ever be. But, it's, if you want to roleplay as someone who got lost in IKEA and transported to a new world, maybe you walked too far into the Beyond section of Bed Bath & Beyond with your little purple bathrobe and you ended up being an undead battle mage, well then, you know what, that is up to you. And by the way, what we've been doing here is we've been using the rock spell quite a bit, which produces a boulder, but you'll see that I can produce a hillside of boulders with relative ease, and although the hit detection is actually pretty poor on fast flying rocks, they deal an incredible amount of damage that is resisted by few enemies, and it's just another stupid fun way to enjoy the game. We have a projectile repulsion field. You can see lightly illuminated in a purple arc around us, a purple circle around us anyway, a corona, and that it repels projectiles that approach, but it also repels projectiles that I am launching, so it increases their speed, which for physical projectiles like rock increases their damage commensurately. So that's very nice. There's a lot of potential with spells like that, but I haven't really gotten to the point of realizing it. I've just been screwing around and having a good time and dying a lot. And then usually the fourth one in my inventory is just trash. It's something I'm working on and it's not really working out, or it's a big a wand with lots of spell slots that I'm just using to haul spells around, because you have a fairly limited inventory in this game as we disregard mermaids and slide down that hillside on our frozen surfboard like the total Chad Megumin that we are. So I guess that's just about it. It's been nice talking to you guys. I'm actually holding my blue snowball in my hand, the first microphone I ever had, and the latest microphone that I have as well. I haven't upgraded my hardware in quite one big explosion. Where did that come from? That was bad news. But I've had this microphone for a while, and I was given it by a friend that believed in me, so that always makes me happy thinking about Jared. Right, I was telling you that my mic stand is kaput, so I'm just holding the mic. I'll see how that works out. And I haven't been talking much. I haven't had a lot to talk about, and I've just been kind of head down, pulling my weight here in the home. My wife has been working super hard at the post office, and then she comes home and she just like falls asleep right after or in the midst of eating dinner. Tonight she fell asleep on the couch with her phone in her hand like usual. I was talking to her, and after a few minutes I'm like, she's not answering me. So I look and yeah, she passed out. One of the girls was laying or sitting on the couch right next to her with her feet like up on her, playing on her tablet. The other girl was across the room, and the fat boy was upstairs with Uncle Jeffy. And it's been a lot of being at home, a lot of sick kids, and a lot of sick adults as well. And we're getting through it. We're doing all right. I had 2 bags of potatoes that were sprouting, so I decided to go plant those in the yard. I'll see how they do. I don't really have any hope for them because it's not a great time to plant potatoes as far as I can tell, but if anything is going to survive, it's potatoes. And they're in the ground, so they'll decide what they want to do, and they were going bad anyway, so it was a good time to put some food in the ground and see what happens. And that kind of reminds me that this year, I really feel like is the year for bearing fruit on the things that we planted last year. And that whole concept of planting and then reaping, you reap what you sow. So whatever you put out in the world, whatever you work for, whatever, and it's really also about the motivation behind the things that you're doing. But those things will always have a result, and you keep putting good out there. You keep doing good and being kind out of the goodness of your heart, and you get a reward in the process of doing that, and you also get a reward in the time that comes for getting rewards. And that's a great thing to focus on, because you could be like me and just spend a lot of time taking care of these kids' basic needs and try not to be too crabby and grumpy in the process, which is really a struggle for me sometimes. It turns out there's a lot of things that my kids do that I absolutely hate, but I have to pretend like it's not a big deal, because it's my problem. I hate weakness. They don't understand, and they don't need to know that the world is a hard place and it breaks the soft, and they have to grow strong. Just gonna teach them to be strong. I don't need to browbeat them. I don't need to get all upset. I've got a plan for building them up and for training them. And you know what? When you're training kids, just like training trees, you make little adjustments at the right time, and then you gotta get your hands to stop moving, because it takes time for things to develop and for strength to come. And when you have that kind of patience and that kind of long-term seasonal attitude, things will work out. You do good work, you plant good seeds, you work the ground, and then you stop and you let grow what's gonna grow. You let live what's gonna live, and you let die what's gonna die. And that's the way things are. And I just hope you are all blessed coming into this new year, and that you grow stronger and wiser, more powerful and effective from all of your losses, and more kind and loving and full of joy as you share victory with the ones you love. God bless you all, and God bless you into this new year, 2023. Bye-bye.